Hello guys, welcome to Aussie Curry. Today we are here for an interesting episode of how to cook chicken biryani in a very quick and easy manner, especially for the guys living by themselves who hasn't had much experience in cooking. So let's jump into the video and see how to start with the ingredients and how to go about the cooking.
What sort of cooking is this? South Indian? Tamil Nadu cooking?
This is South Indian traditional cooking. So we will be using all different spices from South India, and the recipe itself is very traditional. It's Tamil Nadu style. So let's begin with the ingredients now. So we have taken some onions, brown onions or red onions would be okay, and we need some tomatoes.
Yeah.
And we need several cloves of garlic and some ginger to go with it.
Yeah.
And then we have different spices. To begin with, we have some salt. This is chicken masala. You can buy that from any Indian grocery store. And this is coriander powder.
Mm-hmm.
We have some red chili powder. You can either use Kashmiri chili powder or hot chili, either one. It depends upon how much heat you can take. You can use that accordingly. And we've got some turmeric.
Yeah.
And then this is garam masala, which is a combination, homemade one, which is a combination of different spices.
Okay, now the flame is on. Oh, that's a big pressure cooker, isn't it?
Yeah. We have like 6 adults and 3 kids. So I'm preparing roughly 1 kilo of basmati rice. I'm gonna use 1 kilo of basmati rice. I'm not a big fan of measuring quantities. I just go with the flow. So just keep an eye on how much I'm adding, and probably you also do the same. And with bit of tweaks here and there, adding a little bit of salt, adding a little bit of coriander powder or turmeric powder or garam masala, you can actually bring that exact consistency. I'm not a big fan of using measured quantities. No one taught me cooking the right way, so it's all just for myself. So this is how I learned myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we are chopping a bit of tomatoes. Just chop it like in small pieces. I've already chopped some onions. Now we have to first marinate the chicken before we start using it for the biryani. So for marination, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the whole lot, which is 1 kilo of chicken, and then add some sunflower oil. Yeah, and then I'll be adding a little bit of ground ginger and garlic paste,
Oh, that will be in here.
which is here. So it's just freshly ground. My sister-in-law just helped me grind it. So I'm just adding the whole lot. What I've done is I've added like the one that I showed you earlier on. I have put the whole lot, the full cloves of garlic and a little bit of ginger. So everything goes in here nice and neat. And then I'm adding a little bit of, this is the garam masala I mentioned earlier. So I'm adding a couple of pinches to it. As I said earlier, there is no specific measurement, but at the end it will all turn up really well. I hope so. I'm adding 2 pinches of salt and maybe another one too. And then I'm adding, this is the chicken masala that we can buy from any Indian store. So I'm just adding like another 2 pinches of that. And then just mixing the whole lot. Adding some lemon squeezes to get that marination going. Pepper. Okay, I think that's plenty. And give it a good squeeze. Make sure all the marination gets into all the chicken. I've placed the pan, the pressure cooker on the flame, and I'm adding some sunflower oil. You can use any oil that you prefer. It's up to individual preference. So I'm gonna add cloves, bay leaves, cinnamon sticks. These are the 4 ingredients I'm gonna fry first, and then I'll be adding the chopped onions. I've taken some cloves. I'll be adding that to the pan. If you don't put it on low flame, the chances of burning the spices are high. So after the oil gets heated, make sure you simmer the flame and then start adding these spices.
Now what are you adding?
I'm adding cinnamon sticks.
Powdered cinnamon.
Powdered cinnamon sticks. And then a little bit of anise seed. Maybe
2 or 3.
2 or 3 cloves.
And saute it well, isn't it?
Yeah, sauteing it well.
So this step is to
Add flavor,
fry.
fragrance to the biryani.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna add the chopped onions. The more onions you add, the texture becomes nice and thick. So we have like 6 chopped onions.
Thinly sliced onions, isn't it?
Thinly sliced, yes.
So
Now it is translucent. Now it's time for us to add tomatoes. So we have chopped like 3 or 4 tomatoes. Just add that to the mix and then mix it nice and well. It's delicious already. All I have added is just raw spices, a bit of oil, onions and tomatoes. And so now is the time we need to start adding all the spices. So what I'll do is I'll first start with coriander powder. So I'll add I'd say 3 to 6 handfuls of coriander powder.
So that means 2 tablespoons of coriander
2
powder.
tablespoons coriander powder, and then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Adding the chili powder is based on individual preference. Yeah, sauteing all the spices. I've just added chili and coriander. I've given it a mix so that after that we now have to add.
What's that?
It's turmeric. So I'm adding roughly 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Turmeric is very good for health. It adds medicinal values to our food. In Indian tradition, almost everything has a bit of turmeric in it. Yeah. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon of ground garam masala. Then I'm adding salt to taste. spices, the mixture is getting a bit dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of sunflower oil so that it blends really well. And when the tomatoes are getting mushed up, it will also bring in a juicy flavor, and that also helps in actually sauteing this whole mixture really nice. The mix looks like that at the moment. Marinated meat was left for 15 minutes to be marinated well. So now I'm going to add this marinated chicken meat into the sauteed mixture of spices and onions and tomatoes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of yogurt or curd. The curd or yogurt adds a good texture to the gravy, so I added just that, and I'm giving it a good mix. And then I'm gonna put the lid on and then leave it for cooking for some time. I'm not adding whistle at this time. I'm just putting the lid on. I'm gonna leave it for cooking. I can already see the steam coming out of the whistle here, so the mixture is getting cooked really well at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up a little bit now and give it another stir.
So you're basically cooking the chicken in the spice mix.
Yes. What we are trying to do here is basically make a chicken gravy and then add biryani rice to it, and that will make the biryani.
So do you want to serve the biryani rice now?
So yeah, just before you add the biryani rice, make sure you wash the biryani rice. What I'm going to do is, if the rice cup is that tall, then take 1 cup each for each individual. So if in this case I have 6 adults at home, so I'm going to take 6 plus 1 for the kids. So I'll be adding 7 cups of rice. Always make sure you wash the rice in clean water 3 times before adding it to your cooking. I just opened the lid and I'm giving it a good mix, and now is the time to fix all your mistakes. So what I'm trying to do is take a bit of gravy and taste it. Okay. It's all good except for I need to add a bit of salt. So the trick to this cooking is, because we are going to add rice to the chicken kind of gravy, we need to make sure the salt is a bit more added a bit more. It should taste a bit salty, so that when you add rice, it will even up. So otherwise you will have a bland taste and it wouldn't come out nice. So I've added a bit of extra salt now. Taken 6 cups of washed basmati rice, India Gate's classic basmati rice. So I'm going to add that into the mix of gravy. And as you can see there, the chicken has given us a bit of watery texture already, so it helps us in cooking as well. So I'm just mixing it really well. And now we have to add equivalent amount of water to the rice so that the rice can get cooked. You have taken 6 cups of rice in a specific cup. You have to take same amount of water, 6 cups of water. So I'm adding 6 cups of water. I'm going to give a good mix. And then I will taste again and see whether there is enough salt. Now it tastes good. Like it is. Now the taste is a bit saltier, so on the salty side, which is good. When the rice gets cooked, the rice absorbs the saltiness and it will even out the biryani's taste. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the lid on, and then I will place the whistle on the pressure cooker, and then I will keep the flame on sim.
On lower side.
On low flame.
Okay.
If you keep the flame on high, the base of the pan will get burnt, and once it's burnt, that smoky flavor will destroy the whole fragrance that we tried to bring up all along. So keep it in mind, always keep it on low flame, and then put the lid on and then start cooking the rice. Okay guys, it has been cooking for the last 10 to 15 minutes, and I know that's the right amount of time for this rice to be cooked along with the meat. So now I'm going to release the pressure of the pressure cooker. And now we can remove the whistle. Oh, it's a bit hot. Ta-da! The delicious chicken biryani is ready. You see how the rice is nicely cooked, and the meat is cooked, and I can smell a nice fragrance. To this, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna add some freshly chopped coriander leaves. I'm gonna sprinkle it nicely on top. This coriander leaves and mint leaves, there is no right quantity, more the merrier kind of thing. So what I'm gonna do is, so we have got some homemade ghee that my mom and my sister-in-law has prepared. So what we're gonna do is add some fine ghee to this biryani. Everything tastes good with ghee. You can't go wrong with ghee. So
also can come from cow milk.
yes, be quiet. Normally we also will add sultanas and cashew nuts on top as a topping. This will be served with raita and some pickle. It is delicious. So I hope you all enjoyed cooking with myself today, and this biryani has turned up really delicious. I can have sense that fragrance, and I can already can't. My mouth is already watering. You know, like I need to just jump in and then start serving the food and start eating it. So hopefully you also can try this recipe and it will turn out really well. And I will see you in the next guest appearance in Aussie Curry. Until then, see you. Bye.